Imagine your backend API is perfectly secure with the JWT token, but your Angular application don't know how to use that JWT token. So even though user login successfully, every API call still fail with 401 unauthorized. Today I am going to show you how to use JWT token on the Angular side, and best part is you are not going to write just random code, but we are actually implementing this in our actual project Task Manager. In the previous video of the series Build With Me, we watched how to implement JWT authentication on the API side. That means when user logged in, server will generate the token and send to the client. But here is the problem. Angular receives the token but does nothing with it. If Angular does not send that token with each request, then API will reject the request. So today we will fix that. Instead of writing code step by step, I already implemented the whole solution in the project, and this video exactly break down how it works, so you can use same architecture in your own Angular application. This is the actually how the production application handle the authentication. Think a JWT token like a entry pass for entering a secured office building. When you enter in the building first time, security guard give you an ID card. Now every time you move from one department to another, from one place to another, security guard doesn't ask your identity again. They just check your ID card. ID card exactly like the JWT token. Angular store it and send it with each and every request. In this video, we will understand three important things. Number one, where the Angular actually store the JW. Number two, how the Angular actually attach the token with each request. And number three, how we can protect route so only logged in user can access it. Let's start with login process. When user logged in, user send credential to the API. API validate that credential with the data store, and if all good, then API send the JWT token. Now the Angular has to store this JWT token to somewhere. The most of the application, JWT token store in the local storage or the session storage. But question is why? Because Angular need to access that token whenever Angular will make any API request. So after login, we store the token and Angular has the user information. Here is the real magic. We don't manually attach token with each request. Imagine if you are doing manually, and if you have to working on the large application where we are calling hundreds of API and doing it the manually. So that will be very hectic. For that, Angular provide the solution called the HTTP Interceptor. And Interceptor work like the security checkpoint. Every API call, every API request go through it, and at the checkpoint, Angular attach the token to the request. So the flow become very simple. User logged in, Angular received the token, Angular store the token, HTTP Interceptor attach the token to each and every request. Backend verify the token, and token is valid. API will return the data. Now imagine a user is try to access a secure page without login. Should Angular allow the access? Of course not. That is the where route guard come in the picture. Route guard actually check if the token is exist. If that is not exist, then it will redirect to the login page directly. So the authentication architecture will look like this. Login API return the token, browser store the token in the local or session storage, HTTP Interceptor will automatically attach the token to each request, backend validate token, route guard protect secure pages. This is the standard architecture used in production Angular application. One mistake many junior developer make, they just implement the login page, but they don't know how to store the JWT token and then how to send that token with each and every request. They don't know the whole flow. And that is the place where the most of the interviewer try to tweak the question, and most of the beginner fail there, and they don't able to explain the whole concept. You have to understand that the authentication is not just a login. Authentication means controlling the access of your whole application. If you want to become a real full stack developer, learning concept like this is extremely important, and in this series we are building the real full stack project step by step. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Thank you so much.